play Say Something by Justin Timberlake. Think it's over, it's something brand new. I'm in love with your body. And say something, say something, say something. Spoiler alert, these sound amazing. Well, that was a little embarrassing. I hope you enjoyed it. The things I do to give you guys a laugh. If that's not worth buying me a coffee, I don't know what is. So I am taking a look at the Bose NC 700s today, the follow-on from the Quiet Comfort 35 2s. I don't know quite why they changed the naming convention, but I believe they are basically the follow-on version. My brother bought these. He's let me review them before I hand them back over to him, so it's very good of him. He let me do that with his QC 35 2s as well, so brilliant. So let's start off with just taking a look at what's in the box. It's a fairly subtle box, I guess I would say. Quite classy looking. There's not a lot of information on the outside, which, if I'm honest, is continued on the inside, but we'll get there in a second. So remove the old sticky strips, and the headphones are in a funky carry case. Very nice looking as well. I have to say, just all round, I do like the design of these headphones. That is just a gorgeous, kind of futuristic looking, I suppose, in some ways. Gorgeous looking design. So that first page is basically all you get in as far as instructions. The rest of it, I don't even know. It's just some waffle, really, in different language. So at this point, we have no idea what any of these buttons do. Really have no clue. It took me a little while to understand, to get them paired, and then really quite lost. Just in case you're not sure which way around this should be, there's the nice and clear right and left, and kind of slanted in a, I guess, to match your ears. I like the way the headband adjusts, so you don't get any like exposed bare metal. They just slide up and down on the stalk, really nice. And that headband, look at that. I mean, it just looks fantastic. It really does look very nice and feels so nice. They are such classy looking headphones. I can't deny it. I have been a Sony fan to this point, but these headphones, they look so good. I think those are mics for the noise cancelling, and a mic there for actually making phone calls. So let's take a look at the app, because it basically says to install the app, which is the only way you're going to find out how things work. It took me a little while to get them connected properly. I would just say persevere. You will get there, even if they keep sort of failing. Even though the headphones will connect to the phone very easily, and I should point out there's no NFC, so my Sonys, I can just tap them on the side and it'll connect. You do have to pair these the sort of the old-fashioned way, so to speak. And even though it connects to the phone, the app still doesn't recognise that the headphones are there, and you have to just, I had to forget the connection a few times and reconnect, and eventually it seemed to work. So then we're into the settings, and this is where you're going to find a lot of what you need to know. So you can have favourite settings for your noise cancellation that you can rotate through with one of the buttons, which we shall see in a moment. There's also an auto power off, which defaults to never, which I think is a little bit weird. It's only for 20 minutes, that's still quite a long time, but the shortcut button, or just one tap, by default tells you your battery level, but you can change that. And then when we get into product tool, this is where it actually starts telling us how the things operate. So standard sort of pause, skip forward, skip back. Actually, tell the pause is not, the pause is a double tap, which when I think about it kind of makes sense. So if you do catch it accidentally with a single tap, it's not going to stop or start or answer a call or whatever. And here you go. In fact, I realise now we can't read what's on the screen, but basically you double tap to answer a call. To mute the call is the button at the bottom. The noise cancellation is the button on the left hand side, and it cycles through the favourites, which we can set within this app. Conversation mode, it says basically if you hold it down, it just flips it down to 0 noise cancelling, so you can hear what people are saying. Voice assistant is triggered with the bottom right button. It's very quick as well. I don't know how much of that has to do with my Pixel, but you press it and talk straight away and off you go. And just to confirm the buttons, the one thing I noticed is the power, which is also the Bluetooth button on the right hand side there, is quite easily caught if you happen to be laying in bed watching the TV. And down the bottom right is the Google Assistant button, or Siri, and then on the left hand side is the noise cancellation button. And that's kind of it. So we can manually change the noise cancellation and the volume within the app, but I think when you set your favourites, there's not really much need to go back into the app afterwards. So the app is not great, I wouldn't say, but it's enough that it lets you set things up to just crack on with the headphones. So I mentioned the trouble connecting my Pixel to the headphones. I couldn't get them to connect to the motherboard. Having said that, I just put them into pairing mode, then searched them from the motherboard's the settings. Could see them, wouldn't connect to them. And I couldn't connect it to my little Bluetooth transmitter that I have plugged into the TV. Now with my Sonys, I put the Sonys in pairing mode, I put the transmitter in pairing mode, and they just connect. And then from that point onwards, I just turn them both on, they just connect. When they're both turned on at the right time, they just connect in. The Bose didn't seem to want to connect until I went through the app. When I went through the app and sort of basically said, right, go and connect to something else, and I could see the transmitter, selected it, and it then did connect. And after that, it connected really quickly and seamlessly, even when I accidentally turned the headphones off when I was watching the TV, because like I mentioned, the power button is around the back, so if you lean on a pillow, it can press the button. But when I turn it back on, it connected straight back in really quickly. So just a little bit weird, I suppose, in some ways, in getting things connected, a little temperamental, I suppose. What else do you need to know? So it confused me for a little while. The Bluetooth / power button on the right cup, so the one at the back here, it is the power button, it is the Bluetooth button. The power though is just a simple quick button, so to power off, that's it. I was expecting most headphones you hold down the power to turn them off, like hold them down for a few seconds. That turns on pairing mode, and if you keep it held down, it just cycles through pairing, not pairing, pairing, not pairing. How do I turn these things off? And I had to Google how you turn it off. And actually, it's very simple. Wrong way around. I find them a little weird. Oh, in fact, we're on now. I can't tell, whatever. I find it a little weird that I don't know if there's a reason for that. Someone write in the comments if there's a reason that the cups should be up. So I'm used to my gaming headphones. I turn that way and the cups sit on me. I don't know if that's intentional to project the music out from them. I'm not sure. The touch controls, I haven't just put them away. So the touch controls are just the front side of the stalk there. I'm used to the Sonys where it's the whole thing. So you do find yourself trying to find the stalk. Right, there's the stalk. Now I'll do my motion, or find the stalk, tap. And that's why I think it's quite good that a single tap, I don't think, doesn't it? Maybe it reads you the time. I don't think it does, but so you can, right, here we are. And then you can do your double tap or your swipe or your volume. And they do, it works fine. It works as you would expect it to work, I guess. I like actually mention how it will tell you the battery percentage. Well, sorry, it doesn't tell you the battery percentage. It tells you the battery life. So it will say 14 hours and 36 minutes, which I think is actually really quite clever. It's better than, it makes more sense than just the percentage. How accurate that is, I've not used them. I'm not going to have time to use them that long to check how accurate it is. You can connect to more than one device at a time. So as I kind of mentioned in the app, I was connected to my phone, and then I said, right, now connect to my dongle. That seems quite handy because if you're watching TV and a phone call comes in, it will basically interrupt the TV. If you listen to music, it will pause it, I think, and let you take the call, and then afterwards it will carry on again. So that seems like a good idea to me. So performance-wise, I'm going to start with the battery. It starts off at around 17 hours, I think, when it was fully charged. You do charge with USB Type-C. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think that's a good thing, obviously. So 17 hours is good. It's not as good as the Sonys, and I am going to keep comparing to the Sonys because I believe the Sony WH-1000 MX3s were the best noise-cancelling headphone. They've got 30 hours battery life. 17 doesn't really, that's almost half. It doesn't really compete, but at the same time, I mean, don't have to charge my Sonys like every month or two. That's not, I can charge it more than that. That's not a problem. So I think 17 is enough. If you're on a flight or something like that, 17 will be enough. So it's not that that's a problem. The noise cancelling, really very good. Really very good. My test for noise cancelling is I go and sit in front of the washing machine while it's on and see how much I can hear, and I sort of take them off, put them on. it did a really good job. I can hear the washing machine until I started watching TV, and then I thought, let me go and see if I can hear the washing machine now. And I went through with the TV still playing, nothing loud, it's just a Formula One. And I could not hear the washing machine. That's how good. So it was only a small, it wasn't really loud. I wasn't listening to music, but I couldn't hear the washing machine. I did then test the Bose against the Sonys, and I tried to take one off, put the other on, swap them over, switch them back. I think Sony still has the slight edge in the noise cancellation, but it is so slight. It's almost not really worth talking about, if I'm honest. But I do think the Sonys did do a better job. Now, the big problem with the Sony QC 35-2s, the actual reason I sold them and tried the Sonys, was the audio latency. They didn't have aptX, and when you look at the box for the Bose, I was madly looking to see if it said anything about audio codecs, and it doesn't. Oh, is it going to be the same? I'm glad to say, no, they fixed it. I played computer games for a good hour or so, and it's only occasionally that I thought, okay, I know there's a bit of an audio delay there. Generally, you didn't notice it. I watched TV, I was watching the Formula One, and probably a few other bits, and you don't really notice any audio delay. So there will be some, it's Bluetooth, but they're probably down at the kind of, I've not looked, maybe I could have looked it up somewhere, but I would imagine they're down at the sort of fairly regular 140 millisecond, somewhere around there, which you don't particularly, I think your brain does a good job of syncing things back up. If it's close enough, it goes, yeah, I can deal with that, and I just don't think you really notice. So that's great. They're great for phone calls as well. I've made some calls, everything's fantastic, sound good, I sound good, etc., etc. And then I guess possibly the most important thing, they do sound amazing. Like I said at the beginning when I was embarrassing myself, they sound fantastic. The bass is so good, but at the same time, it's got nice and crisp upper bits, higher pitched bits. It's generally just a good balance, a good all-round balance of the sound, I think. So Sony may have lost its crown. I would almost always, if I saw someone buying the Bose, I don't want to be that guy, you should have bought the Sonys, but I kind of, inside I'm saying, do they realise that the Sonys are probably actually better? I don't know now. Someone asks me what noise cancelling headphones should they buy. I very possibly would say get the Bose NC 700s. They look amazing. They sound fantastic. Price, the price I guess is pretty similar to the Sonys. So, maybe you can get the Sonys at a discount now because they've been out for a little while. I guess they're coming out with their new one soon. That'll be interesting. But at the moment, I have to say, these Bose, pretty damn amazing. So, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Please do make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Check out some of the other videos on my channel. I have reviewed quite a few different headsets and gaming headsets if that's your thing. So watch those. Do leave a comment. I promise I'll read every comment and I'll reply if a reply is necessary. But for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon.